Welcome to Tuesdays with Tara. I'm Tara Bundance, and today I'm going to talk about asking for help. Some of you cringe the moment you hear that phrase, and some of you go, yeah, I need help with that. And I know that some are like, yeah, I have no problem asking for help. When I was about 26, I had a 13-year-old ask me, how much do you like doing things for others, giving things to others, helping, supporting others? And I was like, I love it. And she said, how do you think it feels when somebody wants to do something for you and you don't let them? How would you feel if somebody said no, thank you, whenever you offered to support them or help them? And it really sunk in. It really hit me, and that was 20 something years ago. So, I have really let that settle into my body, and over time, I've figured out and learned how to ask for help. I've learned when I'm struggling, I need guidance. When I'm struggling, I need help. When I'm struggling, I need support. Sometimes even before I'm struggling, I ask for help. And part of that is time and practice. So, what I'd like to share with you today is just really taking a moment and thinking about somewhere you are struggling in your life. Could be something simple like you need help with dishes. Could be something more difficult like I really think I might be failing this class, or I may be losing my job, or I'm having a very difficult time trying to figure out how to parent my child. Or you could feel lonely, or you could feel stuck. And so, all of these things that are happening or could be happening in your life, any one of those things, anything that I didn't mention that you might be struggling with, you don't have to do it alone. And some people would think, well, I don't have anywhere to turn, but they might go to church and they may be at church and they may be looking at all the people around them thinking, I wish I could ask for help. And instead of asking for help, they don't ask and they go through life. And when somebody asks how they're doing, they say, I'm fine. Everything's good. I'm great. And then they get home and everything's not fine. Everything's not good or great. Sometimes it's really bad or it's really hard. And so when we ask for help, we give others the opportunity to gift us with their energy, with their life, with their help, with their support, with their time, with their energy. And I just keep thinking back to that young, barely teenager who asked me, how would it feel if someone turned down your help or your support? I'm a support person by nature. And everything that I've done throughout my life has been built on the foundation of me being a natural empath and a naturally highly sensitive person. It is also built on me being codependent. And so I've learned over time how to set boundaries, how to take care of myself, how to say no, how to check in with myself. Is this the right thing for me to do? Is this mine to do? Is it a yes or a no? And I can do that now. I can do that today. I was always offering help for others. I wasn't seeking help for myself. Part of the reason for that was because I was trying to put up a front that I'm fine. I was trying to put up a front that everything's good. I don't need anything. I don't need any help. I don't need anyone to try and take care of me because I wanted everybody to think I was doing all right. The problem is that when someone keeps saying no to help, that basically means that they're not doing fine. They're not doing well, and they just don't want anybody else to see it. If you're not doing well, if you're not doing fine, even if you're not doing okay, if you're doing less than okay, like in other words, if you're feeling less than okay in your life, then you need help. And the way to do that, the way to allow yourself to reach out is simple. There's so many simple ways you can do it. You can ask for prayers on social media. You can reach out to your community, whether it's church or spiritual center or synagogue or any kind of place that you may go for spiritual upliftment. You can reach out to those people and say, look, I just need prayers. I just need love. I just need support. Can you just hold me in a special way that lets me know that I'm not doing this alone? So that's one simple way that you can do it. Another way that you can do it is reach out to your closest people, the people that you've been supporting for some time. And if they're not the right people, if they're not healthy, if they're not in a good space to be able to support you, then find someone who is. And you may have a great friend who's really supportive, and you see how supportive they are in all other areas of their lives, and they're healthy and they're doing well for themselves. It's okay to say, hey, I'm really struggling, and to break down. It's okay to say, hey, I really need somebody just to listen. And I don't need you to fix it. I don't need you to try and change it. I don't need you to take over. I just need someone to hear me and to know that I'm struggling and that I just need a hug. It's okay to just ask for a hug. You don't even have to say why. The thing about support and help is that it's available everywhere. And if you're uncomfortable reaching out to an individual, it's okay to say to spirit, God, goddess, universe, source, whatever you might call it, Jesus, Buddha, whoever's your higher power, to reach out to higher power, which is all things, including yourself, the higher voice within, reaching out while reaching in and saying, I really need guidance. I really need support. I really need help. I don't know what it's going to look like. And I'm open to receiving. I'm open to allowing. I'm open to experiencing and embracing and embodying support from the universe. And then when it shows up, don't say no. The problem with people who don't allow themselves to be supported is that when support shows up, even if they've been praying for something, even if they've been looking for it in all different ways, it could be the lottery, it could be a job, it could be someone giving you a car, it could be just anything. You could be saying, come on, show up, show up, show up. And if it doesn't show up just that way, you're like, nope, that's not it. And sometimes it's going to look different. Sometimes it's going to come up in ways that you least expect. It could be somebody saying, I read on your Facebook that you were looking for this kind of special thing for your yard. I just happen to have one of those things. Would you like it? When you say yes and thank you to the universe and you receive, that lets the universe know how you are open to receiving. And so when you see something available to you, that someone is offering you, somewhere things are showing up for you to say, okay, yes, I really do need help. I will accept that help. I will receive this gift. Then basically you're opening yourself up to more possibilities, more experiences, more awesome opportunities to grow and evolve and build your life. When you attach yourself to some specific kind of outcome, and then you're doing it from a place of desperation, basically what you're telling the universe is, I'm desperate for this thing to work out. And if it doesn't, then I'm a failure. The problem is you've already started off a failure. You've already started off losing. And the reason for that is because you automatically are putting all your experience, all your thoughts, all your energy, all of your expectations in one place. And you may be doing that throughout. You may be doing that on lots of places. Maybe it'll happen here. Maybe it'll happen here. Maybe it'll happen here. You're still reaching outside of yourself for validation. But then when something happens outside of you to support you in validating you and you say no, you're basically telling all these things you're not willing to receive. So in being open to all possibilities from the universe, asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for support, looking for ways to allow yourself to fall into, to lean into, and be held by the universe. You've got to be willing and open to allowing things to show up in ways that you don't expect. And it could look like a handout. It could feel like a handout. And I know there's a lot of people in old school thinking who say, well, I was trained or I was taught by my family, by my parents, that you don't take things from people. You don't say yes. You don't take handouts because it just makes you look less than. It makes you look poor. The thing is, How often have you given something to someone for no reason? And if they said, no, thank you, how much would that hurt? What if you had a car that you didn't need anymore and you knew a family who had a young teenage kid and they have 5 or 6 other kids, or 2 or 3 other kids, whatever, that they're struggling financially and they can't buy their teenage kid a car. And you're like, "You know what? I don't need this car anymore. I really don't. I only need 1 vehicle and I've got 2, and I'm happy to donate this car to your family." And what if they said no? It would be like, ah, you're watching them struggle. You're watching them need this other vehicle for their teenage kid to maybe get their other kids around to school or whatever. And here you are with a car, with a vehicle, and you're able to give that to this family and they say, "No, I can't accept that. It's too much." That's you. That's anyone who says no to the gifts from the universe. So this is my plea to you. This is my voice from the universe. This is the voice of your angels, your guides, your inner self. If you're watching this right now, if there's any reason that you're still watching this right now, I'm asking you to be open to all possibilities, to be open to all realities that you haven't even thought of, things that you haven't even considered. That if it's showing up in your life, it's the universe trying to help you. It's God, goddess, it's somebody, something out there trying to support you. And when you say no, you're basically saying, I don't need anything from anyone else. I can do this on my own. And the problem is, you can't. We can't do any of this alone. We have 7.5 billion of us on this planet for a reason. They're all reflections of us. They're all little holograms of the one life. They're all holograms of God, goddess, source, universe. We're all little holograms, little cells in one body. And so if we're all cells in the body of the universe and one cell says no to the healing of another cell, cancer, diabetes, sickness, lack of health. The universe needs us to say yes to one another. The universe needs us. God, goddess, support doesn't need us to, but it absolutely thrives on us supporting the body. And what that looks like is accepting, receiving, asking, allowing support. And I'm asking this of each and every person who might be watching this video right now, because this benefits me, you, this benefits everyone. When we can stop trying so hard to figure it out on our own and start allowing ourselves to be supported and uplifted and really held up by each other, and whatever fashion that might look like. And so the angelic realms, the guides, the support beings, all the energy in all the world and all of the universe and the multiplex of the multiverse is saying, please, please, we need you to start receiving. We need you to start asking for what you need and then allow it when it shows up, even if it doesn't look like what you think it's going to look like. Many, many blessings to you today and this week. Do something this week to practice either asking for help or receiving help from others, not just giving. Because if you're a giving kind of person, that's already a known thing. And what I'm asking for this week is to do something that's out of your comfort zone. Do something that's unusual for you. Receive, accept, allow, embrace, embody all the gifts that the universe is trying to offer you. Say yes. And also say yes to yourself by asking for help when you need it. Find a way to ask for help. Find a way to ask for support or guidance, whether it's to the powers that be, to your inner self, or to others, individually or as a group. Just do that for yourself because it does something for us. It does something for all of us. We're all like roots on the same tree and branches on the same tree and all the bugs and molecules and everything else in the same tree. We're all part of this together. And the more we lift ourselves up, the more we lift each other up. And how do we do that? We receive, we accept, we allow, we give when we can, we receive when we need it. And so I know this sounds like a lecture, and it kind of is. And so this is just me saying, do this for all of us. Have a blessed and beautiful week. I love you. See you next week on Tuesdays with Tara.